My entitled stepdaughter demanded $100,000 for college, just like her brother got. But after years of her tormenting my biological daughter, I decided she's getting nothing. Hello Reddit, talkative here. My name is Marissa. I'm 44 years old, and I own a thriving interior design business in Charleston, South Carolina. My life hasn't been easy, but I worked hard to create the life my daughter and I now enjoy. A beautiful home, financial stability, and peace of mind. I have one biological daughter, Lily, who is 18. Her father abandoned us when I was 5 months pregnant. I raised her alone, working endless nights, slowly growing my business from taking on odd design jobs for neighbors to now managing large-scale luxury renovations. Lily is my world. 8 years ago, I met Ethan. He's 56, successful in his own career, and was charming, attentive, and patient with me in ways I didn't think were possible. He had been divorced for several years and came with 2 children of his own, Noah, now 25, and Sophie, now 22. When Ethan and I first got serious, he had a heart-to-heart with his kids about moving in with me. Noah and Sophie were teenagers at the time. Noah, at 17, was indifferent but polite. Sophie, who was 14, wasn't shy about her disapproval. She outright told him, "If you move in with her, don't expect us to come visit. I'll just stay with Mom." Ethan moved in with me anyway. He told them both they'd always have a home with us if they changed their minds. And eventually, they did. At least Noah did. When Sophie saw the house, 4 bedrooms, a pool, a big backyard, she didn't hesitate to move in on weekends. But her attitude toward Lily and me never changed. The day it all snapped. I'll never forget the day I overheard Sophie mocking Lily. She was 13 at the time. Lily was 10. Sophie stood in the hallway laughing, telling her friends on speakerphone that Lily looked like a marshmallow with a bird face. I froze. I had been bullied growing up too. I knew the sting of those words. When Lily ran to her room crying, I walked into the living room where Ethan was watching TV and said calmly, "She's never staying in this house again." Ethan thought I was being too harsh. Sophie eventually cried, apologized, and begged me to let her stay. But I'd been through enough bullies in my life to know an apology, in that moment, was just damage control. From then on, Sophie lived exclusively with her mom. But she didn't stop tormenting Lily. I learned only last year that Sophie had been bullying her at school, spreading rumors, mocking her appearance, and making her a target for other girls. Lily never told me because she didn't want to make things harder. I felt sick. I had no idea my daughter carried all that pain alone. Where we live, university tuition is free. But I've always believed in giving my children a financial head start. When Noah started college, I gifted him $100,000 so he wouldn't have to work while studying. He was shocked and grateful, but worried about managing it all, so Ethan and I helped him budget and gave him monthly installments. Noah treats me like a second mom. We're close. I plan to do the same for Lily when she started school. She's not sure yet if she wants to attend right away, but the money will be there for her, no matter what path she takes. Then Sophie got into medical school. Suddenly, Ethan came to me one evening and said, "Sophie wants to know if you're giving her the same $100,000 you gave Noah." I nearly laughed. "She's asking me?" I said. "Not you." "She asked me," he admitted, "but you know she's expecting you to do the same." I stared at him. "You remember why I gave Noah that money, right? Because he treats Lily like a sister and respects me, Sophie." I trailed off. I didn't need to finish the sentence. Ethan knew. He tried to argue that Sophie had grown up, that she'd changed. But that wasn't true. Even as a young adult, Sophie still made snide comments at family gatherings, mocked Lily's clothing, and once even shoved her during an argument. "She's only being nice now because she wants something," I said flatly. The next day, Ethan accused me of using money to control his kids. He said if I didn't have enough for both girls, I should split Lily's share. Then he made a comment I'll never forgive. "Lily's probably not even going to med school. Why not put the money where it'll actually go to use?" I stared at him in disbelief. "You're seriously comparing our daughter's worth?" That night, I decided enough was enough. I invited Sophie over the following weekend. She arrived wearing designer clothes, her nails freshly done, her attitude as smug as ever. Ethan sat beside me in silence. "Sophie," I said calmly, "why do you expect me to pay for your education when you've made it clear for years that you hate me?" She stiffened. "I didn't ask you," she snapped. "I asked Dad." I smiled. "You're not stupid. You know that money came from me, not him. So I'll ask again. Why should I help you?" She scoffed. "You're married. What's the difference?" "The difference," I said, my voice firm, "is that Noah treats Lily like a sister and me like family. You've bullied us, humiliated us, and never once treated us with respect. Would you give $100,000 to someone who hated you?" Her face turned red. Tears welled up. She muttered, "I'm sorry." "You're not sorry to me," I said. "You owe your stepsister an apology, not me." I told her I genuinely wished her success, that I admired her ambition, but I wouldn't be funding her education. Ethan sat silently, shame etched on his face. When Sophie left, I turned to Ethan. Don't you ever compare our daughters again. Don't you dare imply mine is less deserving just because she's not chasing prestige. She's happy. That's enough for me. Ethan apologized, saying he just wanted to help Sophie. I told him he was free to, but not at my daughter's expense. We've been civil since, but distant. I'm giving him space because, honestly, I need some too. I worked for everything I have. I refuse to reward cruelty with generosity. Sophie will be fine. She's smart, ambitious, and fully capable of working part-time or taking out loans. Lily and I, on the other hand, have earned our peace. I won't let anyone take that from us. For the next few weeks, the atmosphere in our home felt heavy. Ethan wasn't outwardly hostile, but his warmth was gone. Conversations were short. He buried himself in work, and we rarely had dinner together. Lily noticed. One night, as I was tucking her hair behind her ear while she worked on her laptop, she asked softly, "Is this because of Sophie?" My heart broke a little. She'd spent years walking on eggshells because of Sophie's cruelty, and now she was worried that standing up for herself was tearing our family apart. "Sweetheart," I said, cupping her cheek, "none of this is your fault. Not one bit." She nodded but didn't look convinced. A week later, I got a call from Claire, Ethan's ex-wife. Claire and I were civil, never close, but respectful. She started the conversation with a sharp edge. "Marissa, I just got off the phone with Sophie. She's devastated. She says you humiliated her and told her she wasn't worth your money." I pinched the bridge of my nose. "Claire, I told Sophie I wasn't going to fund her education because of how she treated Lily. That's not humiliation. That's accountability." Claire scoffed. "She was a kid. Are you really going to hold something from years ago over her head?" "She bullied my daughter for years, Claire. It didn't stop when she left this house. She tormented Lily in school, and she's never once made it right." Claire went quiet for a moment, then said coldly, "I guess I know where we stand." She hung up. That night, Ethan came home furious. "You called Claire. She called me," I corrected. "You're making Sophie out to be some kind of monster. She was a child, and my daughter was a child too," I snapped. "Do you know what it's like to raise a child who hides her pain from you because she's embarrassed? Lily didn't even tell me about the bullying because she didn't want to make life harder for me." Ethan rubbed his temples. "This is tearing us apart." "No," I said quietly. "What's tearing us apart is you refusing to hold your daughter accountable." 2 days later, Lily came into the kitchen holding an envelope. "This was in the mailbox," she said. "It was from Sophie." My hands shook a little as I opened it. Inside was a handwritten letter. "Lily, I'm sorry for everything. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I want you to know I regret how I treated you. I was angry at my dad for moving on, and I took it out on you. That wasn't fair. You didn't deserve it. I'm trying to be better now. I hope med school changes me. Even if you never want to talk to me again, I understand. I just wanted to say I'm sorry." Lily's eyes welled up. She never said anything like this before. I wrapped an arm around her. "You don't have to forgive her," I whispered. "I know," Lily said softly, "but maybe I will, someday." That night, I showed Ethan the letter. He read it in silence, then looked at me with guilt in his eyes. "I pushed you to forgive her too quickly," he said finally. "I didn't realize how deep it went. She never told me any of this." I nodded. "And you never asked," he winced. "I'm not punishing her, Ethan," I said gently. "I'm protecting Lily. Sophie has every opportunity to succeed without me handing her a blank check. This isn't about money. It's about boundaries." He nodded slowly. "You're right. Sophie hasn't been over since that talk, but she and Lily started exchanging cautious messages. Nothing deep, just civil. Lily said she feels lighter now that Sophie apologized. Ethan and I are in couples counseling, trying to rebuild trust and learn how to parent as a blended family without resentment. It's not easy, but for the first time in weeks, I feel hope. Sophie is thriving in med school, and she's doing it on her own. I respect that. Maybe one day we'll have a real relationship. But for now, my priority is Lily. She spent years being the punching bag in this family drama, and she deserves to feel safe, loved, and supported. I worked too hard to build this life for us. I won't let anyone, even family, tear it apart again.